Hello, welcome to another episode of Boss Up and Glow Up with Lexi Sample. In this podcast, we talk a lot about how to improve our lives, how to build confidence, and just not stress so much about things. Today, we're going to touch on the topic about living in the moment. And we're going to talk about a couple different things related to living in the moment. We're going to talk about not stressing so much about our future and our past and genuinely living in the present time. And we're also going to talk about technology and how to not be on our phone so much and how to be present in the moment. Because when we're just so focused on our phones, answering messages, making content, whatever we're doing, we're not really enjoying the moment, living in the moment. So we're going to touch on those things today. A huge part of living in the moment we're going to discuss today is not being on our phone so much and actually enjoying the things that we're doing. It's so hard because we're coming from a digital age when all people care about doing things is for social media, because that's all they care about. They just do things just to post them on social media, rather than doing things for the actual life experience. We need to find a balance in this digital and fast-paced world, because it's fine to record what you're doing, because of course you want memories, you want to post things, but when you're like, oh my gosh, I'm only posting this because I need to flex on Instagram, that's when it becomes a problem, and you're not really enjoying the moment. You're just doing it to flex or just so people think you're doing cool things. In today's hyper-connected world, it's very easy to get lost in the constant bombardment of notifications, the pressure to plan for the future, and the never-ending scroll of social media feeds. Do you ever wonder why your grandparents, great-grandparents, and people in generations before us were so freaking happy? They actually enjoyed the moment. They actually lived in the moment. They weren't so focused on their phones, on technology. They weren't consumed with all that stuff. We don't live in the moment because we're so consumed with it. And that's just the world we live in, honestly. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not a bad person for doing that. It's just we live in such a digital world. And they were way happier than we are because they enjoyed the moment and they lived in the moment. We're not doing that. So we're going to talk today about actually living in the moment. Living in the present moment means actually being fully engaged and aware of what is happening right now and around you, without being so consumed with our thoughts of the past or worries about the future or thinking about updating Instagram on what we had for breakfast and what we're about to do. It's about experiencing life as it unfolds. I have a habit of not living in the moment too because I love posting on social media. I love updating social media on what I'm doing. It's part of my job, honestly, but there's a difference between having it a part of my job, posting for fun, and letting it completely consume my whole day, consume my whole trip, consume whatever I'm doing, because I'm so focused on my social media. The reason why I thought about this topic and to talk about this topic is because I saw a TikTok of this boy. He was out to lunch with his grandma. They were eating. She was sitting across from him, and she was just eating her sandwich, looking at him all sad, wishing he was talking to her. And he was just spending time on his phone. It looked like he was watching a YouTube video. And that made me so sad because she was sitting there appreciating her time with her grandson, so excited to be out with her grandson. And it just didn't seem like he cared to spend time with her. All he wanted to do was focus on his phone, playing his game, watching whatever he was watching, and just not living in the moment. These are precious moments that you need to cherish, and you only have a certain amount of time with your loved ones. Like, we don't live forever, you know what I mean? Your grandparents don't live forever, and you're spending all your time with your loved ones on your phone. Before phones existed, people actually enjoyed each other's company. They actually enjoyed their lunches out with each other. They actually had decent conversations, and they had so much fun. It just made me so sad to see because she genuinely looked like she really wanted to spend time with her grandson. She was so excited to be out to lunch with him, and all he wanted to do was just scroll on his phone. Before phones, we actually enjoyed our time out with people. We actually lived in the moment and spent time with our friends and family. It drives me insane when you're out to eat with someone and all they do is spend time on their phones. Like, what is the point of being out? You can scroll on your phone at home. I'm not talking about responding to a quick text or have to answer a call sometimes. It's those people who you can't get through a simple lunch with without them scrolling on their phones. Also, have you ever been out with one of those people? I've been out with some girls before, and all they would do is constantly text their boyfriend the whole time. Like, why are you out if you're just going to be so consumed with texting your boyfriend? I get it. You love him. You care about him. But you're out not enjoying our time together. I've also had a friend who did that at the club. Like, why are you not dancing? Why are you not shaking ass? Like, why are we not having a good time? You're just sitting here constantly texting your boyfriend and worrying about what he's doing. Why can't you just enjoy your time out? Like, it's not every day that we're out to the club, every day we're not out to dinner. You see your boyfriend every single day. Some of you even live with them, and you're just so consumed with texting them and worrying about what they're doing, and you're not genuinely enjoying your time out with your friends. I cannot be friends with these people anymore. It's so exhausting because it just ruins the night. It ruins the lunch. It ruins the time. Like, you're just not having a good time. And then that energy affects your time. I don't like that shit. It drives me so fucking crazy because you can literally do these things at home. You don't need to be out to be texting your boyfriend constantly. Like, it's fine to just text and be like, oh, how's your night going? But when you're constantly sitting there and not even paying attention to what I'm saying to you, that's disrespectful. I don't like that. Another thing that made me think of this topic to discuss is because I saw a video of these two girls in Milan. They were in Milan and they said there was nothing to do. So what they were doing was, guess what? They were watching Netflix on their phones in Milan. Like, are you actually kidding me right now? You are in a new country, in freaking Italy, and you're telling me you can't find a single thing to do other than play on your phone and watch Netflix? I cannot stand this because this is just freaking ridiculous. Because did you even plan your trip? Every time I go somewhere, I come up with a whole ass itinerary before I even go. And even if I didn't, go for a goddamn walk and find something to do. Like, what the fuck? Like, that shit pissed me off beyond belief. Because what you're telling me, you can't find anything to do other than watch Netflix and play on your phone in a whole new country that you have never even seen before. Excuse me? Because what? That's fucking crazy. Like, that blew my fucking mind. You spent so much money, probably thousands of dollars, on a flight and a hotel, and you are going to say you can't find jack shit to do? What is the point of traveling if you're not going to do anything and be present in the moment? By doing this, you're not living in the moment. You're not enjoying your time visiting another country. It's sad people these days think the only thing to do is scroll on our phones, and that's the only way of fulfillment. Because what the fuck? I honestly find that a little disrespectful to the other country because you're telling them that there's nothing to do in their beautiful country that you've never even seen before. That's just crazy to me that you would rather watch Netflix and scroll on your phone rather than go for a goddamn walk and just explore another country. If I'm in a whole nother town or a city that I've never even been to, even if I'm in my same state and I'm just a town over, I'm going to find something to do because it's not every day that I'm there. I'm home all the time. I have ample time to scroll on TikTok. I have ample time to scroll on Netflix. But when I'm away, I'm only there for a certain amount of time because what? You're in Italy for a week or two and you'd rather watch Netflix than go explore for the little time that you're there? You don't even deserve to be traveling. That may sound controversial, but I don't care. Like, you do not deserve to travel if you're going to act like that because that's just entitlement and crazy. Like, no. I could never be friends with those people. No, I'm sorry. Piggybacking off this topic on being on trips, it's also super annoying when people have to record every second of the trip. Not saying recording is bad, because I record and I like to take pictures when I'm away too. However, have you ever been on a trip with someone and there was a camera in your face the whole entire time? Or they weren't even talking to you because they were constantly filming something or editing a photo? It's very annoying and sad because are you actually enjoying your trip? Do you even see what's in front of you? Or are you just looking through your phone screen because you're just trying to record every second of it? Like, I get it. We vlog. We like to have content. But, like, have you ever been on that trip where you haven't even seen the person you're on a trip with? You just see their little camera in front of your face the whole fucking time. Like, that shit is very annoying. When I go on a trip, I do love to get my pictures. I love to get my videos. I love to make my vlog. But I will definitely not have my phone out the entire time because I actually want to see what's going on, what's in front of me. I want to explore. And guess what? When it's time for bed, that's the time I'll use to edit my photos, edit my videos, and I'll do that while I'm laying in bed before I go to sleep. It's not going to be while I'm at lunch. It's not when I'm at dinner. It's not in front of who I'm traveling with because it's kind of rude to do that. We're trying to be on a trip together. We're trying to have conversations. I don't want to sit here and talk to you and you're just not even looking at me and you're just looking at your phone trying to edit your pictures and videos. Like, I don't like that. I try to do it when I'm alone. I'll even do it when I'm peeing. Like, I'll do it in the bathroom when I'm not in front of them because I just find it so rude. I don't want someone to do it to me, so I'm not going to do it to somebody else. And there's a time and a place for everything. And like, of course, I'll record little snippets of stuff, but I'm not going to have my phone in your face the whole entire time because then I didn't even see the trip with my eyes. I just saw it through my phone screen because I'm just like, hee 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 the whole time. No, I don't like that. I want to actually see the museums. I want to see the land. I want to see everything. I just want to see what it looks like. I don't want to just see it through my phone screen because I could have just literally Googled what it looks like. I could have Googled videos. But no, I want to actually experience my trip. I want to see it firsthand. So I'll record a little bit, but first I'll look at it first and then be like, ooh, that would be a good clip. Then record it a little bit. But I'm not just going to be like, my phone needs to be out 24/7. I'm not talking to you. I'm not listening to you. I hate that shit. I've been on a trip with somebody before and the phone was just in my face the whole time. And we sat down to eat lunch and they weren't even talking to me. They weren't even looking at me because they were just editing their picture. And I'm like, this is like kind of annoying. I don't think I'll ever want to go on a trip with this person again because they're not even listening to what I'm saying. They're just like nodding and they didn't even hear me because I'll say something and they'll be like, wait, what? Like, no, that's just fucking rude. I'm not saying I'm perfect with the phone thing because I've been on my phone a lot before. It's hard because we're in such a digital world and I do work on my phone 90% of the time. But it's something we all need to be better at. Our grandparents had great lives and they were way happier than we are because they weren't consumed with filming every little thing they've done. They enjoyed everyone's company. They actually lived in the moment. Times have changed and now we're just glued to our phones, our iPads, our computers. We're glued to them. It's insane. There are way more depressed and stressed out people today than there were in previous generations. And it really is because of the phones. I talked about this in a previous episode, but since we're spending so much time on social media, we are comparing ourselves constantly to other people, thinking we aren't good enough because we're so focused on what we see online. We're so focused on what other people are doing with their lives. It kind of affects us a little bit, making us think we're not doing enough. We don't look the way we're supposed to look. And it's just not good. And that's why a lot of us get really upset because we see other people doing all these things and we're like, dang, why does my life not look like that? Since we're chronically online, we're worrying about what everyone else is doing rather than just focusing on our own lives and our happiness. This is what's causing us to be depressed and have anxiety and just be stressed about everything. We need to break this habit. This is not a good habit. We don't want to spend our entire lives stressed out, depressed, or having anxiety. We want to enjoy our lives, enjoy our time with our friends and family and our loved ones, and stop worrying about being on our phone so much. Stop worrying about what everyone else is doing because we are on this earth for us. We are not on this earth to please everybody. Everybody has a different path. I have talked about this a few times, but I think it's super important because we are chronically online. We do focus on what other people are doing sometimes. And it's hard not to because it's just in our face all the time. We're like, wow, this person travels every single month. This person drives a G-Wagon. This person has a mansion. I don't have those things. And we're the same age. And it gets discouraging because you're like, why does this person do so well? Why do I not? Like, we are all doing great. We all have our own paths. Everything happens for a reason. So don't get discouraged about what you see online because honestly, not everything you see online is real too. Like a lot of people rent these things. They get free trips because of brand deals and stuff like that. Like they're not paying for these things or they're renting these things. So don't believe everything you see on social media. Like everything is filtered. Don't let that affect your happiness. The iPad kids these days are insane. Kids don't play anymore. They just play on their iPads, play little games on their iPads. The best childhood memories that I have are from when I was outside playing with the neighbors, climbing trees, riding my bike, building forts. These kids don't know anything about that. They just want to play little iPad games or watch their little videos on their iPads. It really makes me so sad because they don't know how to play. I saw a TikTok of this kid on a family vacation on a boat, a yacht at that, and he was just playing on his iPad the entire time. Like, what? Are you freaking kidding me? Like, not even swimming. If that were me when I was a kid, me and my sister would be jumping in the water with our goggles on, playing freaking mermaids. Like, these kids don't do that anymore. It's such a shame. Like, the best part of my summer was going to my aunt's house because she had a pool. And me, my cousin, my sister, we would all just like have our goggles on, playing all these games. And it was just so much fun. These kids don't do that anymore. They'd rather just sit by the pool with their iPads. Like, what in the world? It's such a shame that these kids don't play anymore and they don't live in the moment. Because those were the best memories for me, is playing as a child. You need to play for your brain. Like, that's why this generation is like kind of messed up, because like they don't play. They don't know how to play. They're not having any social skills because they're glued to the iPads. How do you develop social skills if you're not playing with your neighbors, with your friends, with your cousins? Like, oh my gosh, it's such a shame. Like, I loved it. We would build sandcastles. We would build crazy forts. Like, we would just play and like act, and like we would put on little plays. Like, those were so much fun. But no, since we're in a digital age, they don't want to do that. They don't know how to entertain themselves. They need to have these digital things to entertain them. Like, even when I was alone and my sister was somewhere else, I don't know. Like, I've had times where I was playing alone. I was still able to entertain myself. I had my Barbies. I had my little Barbie Jeep. Like, I was good. I was content. I was having so much fun playing. And they just don't know how to play anymore. So sad. Another thing I wanted to touch on about living in the moment is to stop stressing so much about the past and so much about the future. This one is tough because sometimes things stress us out, whether it's finances, family, school, etc. We can't help it. Things happen, but we shouldn't let it affect us living in the present moment. You are so consumed with worries, you aren't allowing yourself to live. And it's hard, I get it. Things are crazy. We live in a crazy time, and it's stressful because back then they didn't have to stress so much because things were way cheaper. But for us, I feel like it's a little bit harder than it used to be because things are so expensive. Like, the average car is like $50,000. That's expensive for a car. Like, it's crazy. My great-grandma bought her house for $2,000. $2,000. That is cheaper than my monthly rent. Like, that is mind-boggling. So yes, I get it. It's stressful because things are tough. But just don't let it consume you to where you're not enjoying your life. You're not enjoying your present time just because you're too worried about what is going to happen. That is not the way to live your life. It's so sad. I get it. The future is such a scary thing. It's unpredictable. But we need to learn to not let that completely consume us and we still enjoy the present time. I like to stick to the what's meant to be will be mentality. I feel like that helped me not stress out about the future or the past at all. Because if something's meant to happen in your life, it will. The universe works in mysterious ways. The universe will never fail you. If something isn't happening for you, it's not meant to be in your life. It shouldn't consume my entire life. So stop stressing about these things because if it's meant to be, it's gonna be. Do not stress so much about the future or the past because it'll happen if it's meant for you. Trust me on this one. If you're going to take anything from this episode at all, trust me on the if it's meant to be, it'll be. We really need to learn to be more present in the moment because we have a limited time on this earth. We need to enjoy every second of it. Enjoy your time with your friends and family. Enjoy your vacation. Get your content, of course. but make sure you are still 100% present in the moment and you're not so focused on your social media. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this was a little bit helpful and eye-opening that we really aren't living in the moment because we're in such a digital age. And we're so stressed out about the past, the future, whatever. We're stressed out. But I really hope this was a little bit eye-opening because honestly, seeing those videos on TikTok, the one with the grandmom and the grandson out to lunch and he was just scrolling on his phone, not paying attention to her, and the video of the iPad kid on the yacht and the 2 girls in Milan, those were so eye-opening. I was like, oh my gosh, like we are fucked. We're in like a crazy time. Like everyone is just worried about their phones or they're stressed out about whatever the fuck. That really opened my eyes. So I really wanted to share this with you a little bit to hopefully open your eyes to realize we really aren't living in the moment. We aren't present 100% of the time, and we really need to be. So I hope this helped you a little bit. See you next week.